Hello and welcome to RingTakes here. Of course, I'm joined with Brian and Lewis as always. Thank you guys for joining me. We're kicking it off this week. I just want to start off by saying with the show, we are on X or Twitter or whatever Elon Musk wants to call it now at RingTakes. Check us out, follow. Please check us out. We're starting up there. Posted a couple clips. Me and Brian had a good interaction with Rhea Ripley returning, which we will talk about later on the show. But yes, we are on X, so check us out, follow us. Getting more fan engagement there and trying to build X Twitter community. But yeah, man, we just coming off the heels of a great weekend, 4th of July. In wrestling, in terms of Money in the Bank, NXT Heatwave. I did not get to check out NXT Heatwave, but let's get into Money in the Bank review. First, we did go to the Go Home show on Monday Night Raw. I wanted to get into that at first. At the TD Garden, great experience. First show together as a crew. Lewis was his lady and his brother. Me and Brian tagged along. Very entertaining show, I thought. What was your guys' takeaways from seeing Raw live? I had a great time. You know, I was bantering with the kid behind us with Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio going back and forth. That was awesome for me. That was the icing on the cake. Getting that, feeling like a kid again, arguing back and forth with the kid because he was just so happy to be there, and I was just playing the heel that I am in real life. So, but yeah, what are you guys' takeaways from the show?
All right. Well, first of all, yeah, that show was lit. It really was a good show. The one thing that I liked at the very beginning, when Jey Uso came out, it was really nice to be a part of that atmosphere. Because now every time he comes out now, it's like I have to get hyped for his entrance now. It's like mandatory. It's like mandatory now because to actually be there and how Samantha Irvin got on the mic beforehand and said that like he wanted everybody to put their phones up and everything. There was a great entrance. I loved how he was hiding under the ring when the Wyatt Six came out, and then he came out, and then he came out pretty much was talking to the crowd afterwards. Yeah, Daniel, you talk about the banter you had with the kid. I mean, I was involved in that as well because I was trying to explain to you that you need to have respect for the veteran in Rey Mysterio, which I kind of found kind of funny because on this podcast you've defended Natalya numerous times, but then live you want to disrespect Rey Mysterio.
She was not on the card.
I wonder why.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
She's in contract negotiations, Lewis. Things are a little turbulent.
I thought you said she resigned.
Hey, I saw something that she resigned. Okay, but who knows? Who knows?
All right, but overall, it was a great show. I'm very interested because sometimes like when you haven't been to a show in a minute and you're watching it on TV and they go to these commercial breaks, sometimes you tune out from the show, but they actually be there live and you kind of see what they do in between commercials, putting stuff up on the jumbotron, or they're doing these fan interaction things. I think it was what was it, DX? They were doing like the DX cam. They were going around trying to see people doing the DX chop, which I thought was
20 years later, still getting the juice from that.
A little bit of juice they still get from that.
Yeah, but overall, it was a great show, a great experience. I think we had talked about because I think WWE is returning to Boston in December about running it back. I'm definitely interested in it if you guys are available to do it again. But it was a great experience.
Yeah, for sure. I always love going to WWE when I come in town. Last time me and Dan went to Smackdown, I think Smackdown might be the only one I go to just because Raw's long. I'm getting old. Man, I was hurting the next morning. I was like, Jesus, I didn't get home till like 12:30, close to 1. I'm like, I'm too old.
I didn't get home till like 1:25.
But definitely, I mean, yeah, it's always a good time. I mean, the stuff with Jay, the Wyatts, seeing Ray still go, definitely great. Yeah, I had a good time. I know my brother loves going to WWE as much as he can. So definitely a good time. Always fun. Especially it's crazy now. And I think I was mentioning to you guys how much smaller the like entrance is now compared to like back in the day with the big ass Titantron and everything. And it's just like it's just so different now. But I mean, times change, so it is what it is. But still cool. I think between Jay and Seth Rollins have like the best entrances right now, at least in terms of like crowd reaction and everything that comes with it. I think those are the two ones that get the people most hyped and going. So, but yeah, definitely a great time.
Jay Uso's entrance is pretty lit. That's on the YouTube channel. I believe I put it on Twitter. But overall, that entrance gets you going. Like the whole crowd is hyped for that Jay Uso entrance, and it's just fire. Liv Morgan coming out. Everyone's like all the eyes are on her with Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio, that whole storyline. Seeing Rey Mysterio still go at 50. Again, I said that he was grandstanding and showboating, but it is impressive at 50 to see him still going at this stage of his career. Dominic Mysterio putting on for the new generation, and that's all I was saying. That's all I was saying when I was arguing with the kid. I just felt it weird that he wasn't going with the young guy, the upstart. I just thought it was weird.
Upstart.
But it is what it is. Didn't
that kid like cuss you out or say something that made me? Because I remember he said something that made me turn around. I was like, "Yo, repeat that." I'm not going to get into
it. He had his infamous Dom stop sucking comment.
Yeah.
We did have that, which was hilarious. And
the shave your mustache chants were really good too.
Yeah, Dominic Mysterio getting the shave your mustache. Like I have that also up. It is hilarious in person. Like the whole crowd hates him. I'm like, and hey, I was 1 against 20,000 in the Garden on that Monday night, cheering for Dominic. That's all I'm saying. You got to be tough to be a Dominic Mysterio fan. So, yeah, you got to be tough throughout the haters. That's all it is. And Dominic Mysterio, just keep going. Don't worry about your mustache, man. It looks great. And hopefully you can figure out stuff with Mami when we get into that later on. But no, the show was great. Seeing the Wyatt Six was great. Seeing Braun Breaker do the spear on Sami Zayn was crazy. Like he's fast. like to see that speed in person is pretty crazy, man. But no, it was just a great show, great showing. And again, always seeing everybody walking in with the belts and the shirts and stuff like that, and being a part of that was kind of cool. So, definitely looking forward to do it again. It looks like there's a show in December that we'll try to get to. Can't wait. But let's get into the Money in the Bank review. In our first match with Tiffany Stratton winning the women's Money in the Bank, arguably match of the night. I want to say match of the night.
No, definitely.
All the ladies involved put on impressive. I thought Zoe Stark was going to need an ambulance after all the bumps she's taken. But what do you guys think about the match overall and Tiffany Stratton being the one to grab the Money in the Bank briefcase?
Tiffany time, hip. It's been that time. As a matter of fact, since she's come up to the main roster. I think. Well, this definitely was the match of the night. Let's get that out of the way. I mean, the risk that these women took. I mean, oh my God! Like the fact that Zoe Stark 2 days later was on Raw was actually very surprising to me because
that's why they moved all the PLEs to Saturday.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a day's rest.
A day to rest.
Yeah, exactly. They needed that rest. But that Michinoku driver that she took from Io Sky from the top of that ladder, man. I mean, you can try to protect yourself, but at the end of the day, you just got to take it. And it looked so destructive. It looked so painful. And it was just like, wow. And I know there were a couple of botches as well. I think like Zoe went for like a sunset flip and then ended up back her head on the ladder.
Yeah.
Which looked painful as well. I mean, Chelsea Green. I remember she got like a huge positive reaction. Her being from Canada when she took that went through the tables at the end, which is funny because they kept making it a reference in the match that she was legitimately afraid of heights. So she takes the highest spot of the night. So I thought that was hilarious. But it definitely was a great match. It was a great showing. It was like we said, first year where the women's Money in the Bank trumped the men's Money in the Bank. Now that Tiffany Stratton has the briefcase, it's going to be very interesting moving forward.
I mean,
what she
they've
does.
been climbing in that match. I feel like they've been climbing in that match.
Now that they have. But no, it was a great match. It was definitely a match of the night, and big things now for Tiffany Stratton. One other person that was a standout performer, obviously, Lyra Valkyria. She's well on her way. She got a great reaction when she came out. She's definitely going to be, like I said before, she's going to be one of the top women on Raw moving forward, because she's eventually going to get there. But congrats to Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffy time. Yeah. Yeah. Did we all pick her to win?
We did.
I think I picked Naomi. You guys picked Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
Naomi, if only.
Hey, she had a good showing.
No momentum. I mean, I feel like into this one, it was, I don't know. There wasn't really a clear-cut winner. I think we all knew like EO wasn't going to win a second time, and like everybody like could have had a small percent chance of doing it, but
I thought EO was the performer in the match. I thought she was the best in the match, but
I thought, you know what? I was actually behind Chelsea Green for some reason, just because, she got the win to qualify. She would have been a super unexpected, like, not like a Otis type win, but still with like
the underdog,
like, kind of like a Miz-ish type, like, scheme her way to get the, so I wouldn't have been mad at that. So, and I think that spot that she gave everybody was great. I feel like the fact that she took that risk maybe will show people that, hey, she is kind of a risk taker. She is, capable of doing these other type of things in the ring and stuff like that. I think also Zoe Starks is always like one that's climbing up more in terms of like, I feel like she's kind of like a female Dolph Ziggler a little bit. Just hasn't won that. I mean, she's won the tag titles, I guess, once, right?
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, like she's very, like, she's athletic. She's just, she doesn't have a terrible promo, but she has a good promo. But like, there's just
that's
something.
That's the only thing what I've said with her, because she's so impressive and she was taking a lot of bumps in the match. But it's just like her skill in ring is top notch, but she just doesn't have a character as yet. That's the only thing with her.
And I feel like if they would have gave her a more like, because I feel like her character is kind of similar to like a Shayna Baszler, where she's like rugged, tough, mean, whatever. But it's like she needs something else to stand out. And I mean, her character was fine for the match. It's just I think her in general could be elevated in some type of way. She's just missing something. But still, great showing in the match. Tiffy has definitely been very hot lately. I think just her presentation, consistency. Obviously, everybody loves her like moveset and repertoire. She does it flawlessly. The prettiest moonsault and everything. So I think she was definitely a great pick. She's got huge potential, and congrats to her. But yeah, the match was definitely great. I think it was definitely better than the men's, just because of how the men's Money in the Bank went. But I'm sure we'll get into all that later on.
Yeah, I thought the match was great in terms of, as I said, I believe I said it in the chat. It's not that the men's match was bad. It's that we've seen probably everything that the men are going to do in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Like, how much more can they push the envelope and what bump can they take? Whereas the women, over the course of the years, where we've seen it, where it was kind of standard, regular ladder match, but over the course of the years, and especially with this one, we're seeing them take more risks, take more high-flying moves, actually have spots in the match. So I think that's the credit where the women are getting the edge, is because it's like they're pushing themselves to put on a show in this match, and it's very, very well put together. Chelsea Green was comedy throughout the match, being scared of heights. I believe she pushed down the ladder and then tried to like throw the ladder at the Money in the briefcase, which was funny. Having those type of moments. I thought Naomi was great. She had that tornado DDT. I just thought the match was good. Lyra Valkyria, was awesome in the match. I thought she was pretty good. Io, I thought she was the woman of the match. I thought she was awesome throughout the whole match. But as Tiffany Stratton, it's her time. But what do you guys think that is too early for her to have that? Is that a crutch? Does she need that briefcase because she's so good on her own? Does she need the briefcase in order to get to the championship? Is that the right move in that sense?
I think so, because it's not. I don't feel they've put her. I mean, she's had like what was it? Triple threat matches with like Bailey here and there, but she hasn't like faced number one spot people yet, like a Becky or
she's faced Naomi a couple times. She had a split with Naomi and stuff like
she's
that.
She's faced a few people on SmackDown, but
she did face Becky, but on NXT, they did have that.
That is true.
Yeah. So, but I agree with Lewis. I don't think it necessarily like holds her back. I mean, the Money in the Bank has always been best on a heel, and anyway, because essentially it's a license deal, and you can lose 20 matches in a row, cash in Money in the Bank, and become champion. And as a heel, we'll accept it because that's what a heel would do. So and so in her case, she's a very good heel. The only issue that would be with it is if people, which they're kind of starting right now, are starting to like her because now the Tiffy time is actually starting to get a babyface reaction a little bit. So, but then it's all based on the booking, because I think right now on SmackDown they pretty much have her buddy with Nia Jax, and we know that Nia Jax is supposed to be facing Bayley at SummerSlam for the title. So now Tiffany has the briefcase. That's going to be very interesting how they play that out. But I don't think it holds her back at all.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
I think it elevates her into that main event card, and I mean she's been NXT champion, so I think she kind of understands somewhat of what it means to be at the top. So I'll just show like.
And she had some good matches down there in NXT.
She did.
Definitely, I just think it might be. I just feel like that's a crutch right now for her because it's like she doesn't need it, and I feel like she needs to like, even though she is a heel and has her promos and stuff like that, it's like, are they trying to make her a babyface or eventually trying to make her a babyface?
I don't think so. I think her character is just heel. I think people are impressed with her in-ring ability. I think that's what it is. I think her character, and I think everybody can like clear cut. She's a heel, everything's around her.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't feel like it's built up enough. I don't feel like it's built up enough as yet. Maybe the Money in the Bank briefcase is a way to use that. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But it's Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton, Money in the Bank winner. Great match. Great showing from all the women involved. But let's get on to the men's side of things here. Drew McIntyre wins the Money in the Bank and loses in the same night. What do you guys make of this? First of the Money in the Bank, the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then the following title match afterwards, where Drew McIntyre loses his opportunity.
Okay, so we're going to cover both Money in the Bank, both the Money in the Bank and the title match, and just cover it all in one.
Just put it together
first.
Yeah, let me go first. I think after what was the last thing? Clash at the Castle.
Mm-hmm.
All of this and now I'm agreeing with Dan even more. No, more so now is that Drew's just a loser. He's a loser, and the thing is, Drew is so good, even after losing this many times because of the Punk and everything. I think it is also hurting his credibility to actually be champion now, because it's like, yes, you're doing all this to create this giant blood feud with him and Punk and blah 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 blah. And he started, and they've been going at it for this long, and look at everything he's cost them. But it's just like, what does this say when Drew actually becomes champion? Or is anybody even going to back him anymore? Because it's just like, you've clearly give him all these opportunities and it doesn't pan out before the story, I guess. I don't know. For me, it's just like, you could only we had Cody lose at Mania, but then have that strong year. It's like you had Drew win that Mania, get screwed, and now have been screwed like 3 more times. It's just like, how do you recover from that at that point? Where do you even go? Oh, let me just have this non-title feud, and then they'll go back again to get another opportunity to go for the. It's just like, I don't know.
Hey man, hey, you got to take your lumps before you succeed. All right, you got to crawl before you walk.
How many? And now you want to say?
Hey, when I was saying it for months, I'm like, yo, this guy looks like a loser. He looks like a loser. He looks like a loser.
That was a big loser.
But as for the Money in the Bank match, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a foregone conclusion that Drew was going to win. Made the most sense. Some people were saying CM Punk should have caused them the Money in the Bank, the match itself.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
So from that standpoint, like the match was great. Andrade, I liked Andrade in the match. I thought he was awesome. Chad Gable, Drew McIntyre. I thought overall the match was good in the setup, but we all knew who was going to win.
I kind of wanted Jay to win.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the poster. He's on the poster. False advertising, right? False advertising, right? But no, I thought everybody was good in the match, and it's just like I just thought it was foregone conclusion that Drew was going to win. As for CM Punk costing Drew the match, the Money in the Bank cash-in, it adds to their feud. And like they've been building this up for so long. Of course, CM Punk got taken out. What's the best way to keep elevating this feud?
Exactly. Yeah.
Have Drew have the opportunity in hand and cost them again. That's another thing. We've never seen that with the Money in the Bank briefcase. We've seen cash-ins. We've seen Austin Theory hold it and then cash it on a lower card top. They've pretty much done everything with this Money in the Bank besides what they did at Money in the Bank this past weekend.
Somebody get cash in before? Didn't Baron Corbin get screwed out of a cash-in?
No, he cashed in and then got rolled up and lost. I remember that.
On Cena, right?
Yeah.
And he was trying to cash in on Jinder Mahal. I remember that. And then Cena distracted him, and then he got rolled up in like 3 seconds and lost the briefcase.
That's kind of the same thing. You got screwed out of your cash-in.
I mean, you got rolled up in 3 seconds though, so that's kind of like it wasn't like it was like a good match, and then he got screwed. He got rolled up in the beginning, like that. That's bad.
I don't know. For me, it would have been better if he would have just screwed. Like if Drew was all alone going up the ladder and Punk just came out of nowhere and just pushed him off, like just because I don't know. Yes, it's screwing in the cash-in elevates their feud, but it's just like,
first of all, Money in the Bank,
I don't know. To me, it's a waste of cash.
We've had the cash-ins happen at various times the same night with Kane. I remember when Kane cashed in on Rey Mysterio,
Alexa Bliss
on Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey, was it? But just in general, they've done everything about it, and it's just like sometimes it just holds. I feel like it's a crutch at times. Like the person has it for a long time, like Austin Theory, or you had
Damian Priest.
Austin Theory.
Damian Priest. Damian Priest held on it for nearly a year. So it's like this is the best way to get it out the way. That's what I like. Get it out the way and just get back to the wrestling.
I like the unexpected cash-in. That's my thing. Like with Damian, I think we discussed it for the
every single title match.
The longest time though, we never knew when he was gonna do it, and even at one point, we all speculated that he might even have a failed cash-in. I think that's
every single title match. We're all saying, "Oh, somebody's gonna come out and cash in." It's only specifically when they went to Damian Priest and said tonight's not the night that we saw, okay, he's not going to cash in. Other than that, that's also a part of the new direction of WWE, though, as far as like Triple H goes. I mean, when Vince was in charge, I mean, you never heard, like you're saying, when Vince's era,
it never was like that. They never really like alluded to it like that.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah.
I mean, even look at when wow, I don't remember specifically how the build-up was, but like when Dolph won the title, or even was it really unexpected when Edge did it, or did Edge do it the same night?
Edge did it at New Year's Revolution after the Elimination Chamber.
Nah, Edge's was surprising because it was the first.
SmackDown.
It was the first one. It was the first.
Yeah.
It was the first of its kind. It was the first time you got to see how the briefcase works. So Edge's was surprising. Yeah, because I remember I ordered that pay-per-view back in high school, and I'm over here thinking that see, there's no way this is gonna end like the show's gonna end like this with Edge with the title. I mean, they gotta do another match real quick and or something like that. Yeah, because I'm like, yo, talking about what you can use the briefcase like that. I'm like, okay,
yeah. I've just always liked the element of surprise of it, but yeah, I don't know the Damian thing with like not tonight, or I like the surprise cash-ins, like not ever really.
I would like to see somebody say, "Hey, I'm going to cash in at the pay-per-view."
That's
like
what
in
Drew
terms
did.
of just I'm just saying like a number one contender match. Like I want to face you at the pay-per-view. That's going to be my cash-in.
I know
Braun Strowman did that.
Braun,
RV,
and then I think RVD did that.
RVD did it.
Yep.
Cena did it. I think it was just those guys.
Well, I like it better that way. Like just cash in and say, "Yo, I'm gonna face you at the pay-per-view, man." Like just go out like that. Like that's how I like it. But the Money in the Bank match was one thing. But what do you guys think about Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest and the controversy of all that? What do you guys think about that part? Because I thought it was a pretty good matchup until that point, and then it just went.
So to go back to Money in the Bank real quick, just give my quick thoughts on it, bro. Now I thought it was a very, very good Money in the Bank ladder match. I know that since Money in the Bank has been going on now for, I think the first one was 2005 WrestleMania 2021. Yep. So this is like 19 years of Money in the Bank. So the fact that when you think about it like that, all these ladder matches, they kind of all come together. Like I think I was watching a YouTube video the other day of WWE, and they kind of like put all the Money in the Bank ladder matches into one video and just showed random ones. And like you're watching some of these, and like when you really think about it, some of these superstars are in them and stuff. I mean, like it's pretty much been like the same old. They're great matches, but it's pretty much like same spots. They get tables involved. You get in these spots with like three guys are standing waiting to catch one guy. But, and it's all very entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but it kind of comes with the Money in the Bank ladder match that we've seen for 19 years. So that's kind of how I looked at the match in its entirety. Like great match, great action, but it's almost expected because that's what Money in the Bank. That's how Money in the Bank is defined. But going to the title match, so I'm going to disagree with you guys. I honestly don't think Drew is a loser. I mean, since WrestleMania, one guy, they've been telling this story that one guy is going to keep him from getting his world title because Drew has said because Drew had wished that Punk got hurt and tore his tricep. So that one guy in Drew has been losing because of one other guy in CM Punk. CM Punk has been cost him at WrestleMania, cost him at Clash at the Castle. And then I know you stand there. You say that Drew's not a loser. Drew is a loser.
But he's a loser.
I don't think he's a loser. After the last 3 months, he's been getting one guy. He's been programming one guy, and the one guy has been costing him all the matches.
A guy with a busted arm continues to cause havoc against you. Exactly. A guy that you took out 2 weeks ago, left him bloody, battered, and bruised, and took his family's bracelet.
Yes.
Like that guy's causing you harm? Like, get the job done, man. I'm tired of this. Get the job done. I said it last year. He should have beat Seth Rollins. He wins at WrestleMania, grandstands in front of CM Punk, gets cost that, loses his belt in less than 3 minutes? Like, we're tired of seeing this guy lose.
Ask a question. Why do we not give him credit? Why would we not give him credit for that 8-minute reign? He made up for he got his moment from COVID in 2020. So can we at least give him credit for that?
You want to know what Drew McIntyre needs? He needs a stable. That's what he needs. in order to get the job done, get Butch, get Rich Holland, get Sheamus, and start whatever Irish, Scottish union you want to start over there.
The Bang Bros.
Banger Bros. Bring in Wade Barrett on commentary.
Sorry, Banger Bros.
Do whatever you need to do and get the job done, man. Enough is enough. We're tired of seeing you lose. CM Punk is costing you all this crap. Like, okay, he has a busted arm.
Who he's going to recruit is Giovanni Vinci.
Get Giovanni Vinci. Get a bunch of Irish guys. Get a bunch of Scottish guys. Get a bunch of European Union going.
But I will say this, because
going into William Regal. Get everybody.
I will say this, because going into the match, going into both the Money in the Bank ladder match and the title match, I thought to myself, like, if Drew gets screwed again, this better be the last time, and it better be actually leading to the actual first match between the two. Now they alluded to it on Raw that Punk still isn't cleared yet. So based upon what I saw on Money in the Bank, he looked clear to me. I mean, he was throwing punches. with the arm, and he got physical with him. So if it's revealed that Punk's still not ready and this match isn't happening at SummerSlam, then I'm going to lean more. Then I would lean more towards where you guys are thinking and saying, okay, now you guys are making Drew look like a fucking.
And that's a big issue. That's a big issue because CM Punk has not been able to wrestle, right? Like, we have not gotten a match, not even one match from CM Punk outside that Royal Rumble matchup where he got hurt, unfortunately. And I think that's a big thing where Lewis is alluding to. It's like, yo, how long is this supposed to go on? And it's like, until Punk is cleared, until they have that first match, right?
See, and I get that. But if that was the case, then you could have had Punk stay out longer from the beatdown that he got on SmackDown then. So that's why I'm thinking, like, okay, we're going to get this match now. Or else you could have still had Punk on the sidelines selling the attack from SmackDown, because that's how vicious it looked. So they better be having this match now at SummerSlam.
Maybe he gets cleared, man. Maybe he gets cleared.
Make it a street fight then, so he doesn't have to do much.
But let's get to the actual title match between Damian Priest and Seth Rollins. I thought it was a good back and forth match. But of course, everyone's talking about the controversy where Seth, I believe he hits a Falcon Arrow on Damian Priest. He's down for the 1, 2, 3, the 1, the 2. And then Nick Patrick. Apparently, there was supposed to be a kick out, or the music was supposed to hit. What do you guys make of that? Because that was a big driving force on the internet. And controversy, everyone was confused what was happening. And it was a screw up. Obviously, it was a screw up, either on the back, the guys in the ring. What do you guys make of that?
You want to go, Brian?
No, you can go ahead, Lewis.
So when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell just happened? But from what I thought happened was that initially I thought the music was supposed to hit during the 2, and like Seth lets go and goes like, what the hell? And that didn't happen. And that resulted in the ref going, I did my job with who hit the music. You know? But
somebody messed up.
So that's where I'm like, maybe it doesn't look that bad. Because Drew came out like immediately. But then I saw online that it could also have been possibly that when Seth kicked, like he, when he like does the reversal and he hits the knee down to like hit Damian in the head or whatever. Yeah. He actually did hit Damian in the head. And then when he hits the Falcon, you do kind of see him kind of like hits the mat and he's kind of like
he's laid out.
He's laid out. So I think that could have also been a possibility where like maybe he caught him in the temple, he blacked out for a second, then he's like 1, 2, 3, and then he's like, oh shit, I was supposed to kick out, or probably didn't. So I mean, you can't get mad at these guys. These guys are, they're being physical. They're throwing each other around. if it was a music issue, then that's definitely all on the technical, people who deal with all that. But if this was a situation where, Damian was legit hurt and got knocked out by a knee,
I mean, there was a moment there watching the video, Damian Priest is tapping Seth Rollins' foot like, yo, what happened? So I think there's some type of miscommunication. I don't know where from, but it's definitely like you can see after the ref is like holding up, Damian Priest is like tapping Seth Rollins' foot like, yo, what's going on? So I don't know what exactly happened, but obviously I'm thinking from the standpoint of looking at it that the music was supposed to hit. That's the only logical.
Yeah. That's what I thought too. I mean, that's what social media initially had thought that that it was a production issue.
Yeah.
But Damian he did look out of it. I mean,
he did.
If you actually watch from the count of 2 through the entire time that the camera was panned on him, like you could just tell that he's completely out of it, completely oblivious. I mean, shit. I mean, it's professional wrestling. Shit happens, I guess. I mean, it's nothing to criticize. I mean, he got legitimately knocked out. I mean, they always say it. Man, it's not.
I started saying, hey, Seth Rollins a safe worker. I mean, I started joking with that.
Yeah, he's had a couple of incidents, man.
He broke John Cena's nose, right? He ended Sting's WWE career essentially, and then he's knocking out Damian Priest. That's 3, man. That's 3. And I don't want to put that on Seth because obviously those are just technicalities in the ring and stuff like that. Stuff happens, but it's just like shit. We don't need it to happen to Seth Rollins right now. But I thought the match was going pretty good before that point, and it's just like that whole production thing just really, and it's just like with Damian Priest's run, it's like something keeps happening, right? He had the watch with the ropes. This whole thing with the kick out and stuff like that. People are already thinking that he shouldn't be carrying the title around anyway. But it's just,
I mean, to give an early prediction, I mean he won't be carrying the title around after SummerSlam, so it don't matter.
I don't know.
No. Oh no. No. Did you not see the little promo package they did for Gunther?
I understand that.
They are preparing this man for dominance.
I understand, man, but
Gunther is about to be that guy on Monday Night Raw.
I think Damian can walk out of SummerSlam with the title. I think he can.
Nah, man.
So tough.
Where is that title match taking place in at the end of August? Bash in Berlin.
So you don't want him walking in as the champion? It'd be the perfect. It would be the perfect atmosphere.
No,
but it's going to be a 2-night event. I feel like it's going to be that big that he should win. And you already know, notoriously, at least what we've seen the last couple of years, what is happening at home events. People are not.
Whoa. That's Drew McIntyre.
No, Zelina Vega.
No, that was not.
Sami
Zayn.
That was Wales. Now you can say
those guys are losers. Those guys are losers, right?
The only one who has won at home was Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, she was the only one.
I wouldn't even predict that because there's not a good track record with fighting in your home country.
Believe in Damian. Have him walk out there as the champ. Come on, man. By hook or by crook, get it done.
Damian didn't even win in Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah. He's not from Puerto Rico though, is he?
He's Puerto Rican.
He's Puerto Rican, but he's not from Puerto Rico.
Actually, he lost to another Puerto Rican. He lost to another Puerto Rican. Probably
Sammy gets a huge pop in Saudi Arabia, but he's from Canada.
Hey, Mansoor is gone. They needed a replacement.
Oh, he's not from Saudi Arabia. That is true. Only Mansoor gets that home field advantage.
But no, man, it's just like I don't know if that title is going to be off Damian so fast. Let's hold out.
It's tough because Gunther has been made so strong. Like nearly not indestructible, but goddamn near indestructible.
Yeah.
Like such a powerhouse, precision striking, imposing figure that it's like, do you really have him lose? And if you do, how? Where it doesn't hurt his presence, you know?
I'm just going to ask him this. Do you want to win your title in Cleveland or do you want to win it in Germany? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Now, they won't do this, but I think it would be cool if they did. If he wins the title at SummerSlam, and then the first title match at Bash in Berlin is against Dragunov. They won't do it, but that would be a nice little main event.
That would be a sick one.
That would be insane.
Because those two will have a banger.
No, those two will beat the shit out of each other.
But yeah, just the match in general, Money in the Bank, I thought it was pretty good. Drew just having a tough run of luck. Loserville.
You're a loser.
Yeah. But Damian Priest showing that he can be resilient and win the title even after all that. And, of course, we're going to get into Seth Rollins and CM Punk later on, but we had that little interaction at the end as well. But let's continue to move on here to the shocker of the night, in my opinion. Sami Zayn retaining his IC title versus Braun Breaker. This was a head-scratcher. But, again, maybe this is looking at Sami defeating Gunther, not losing so early in his reign, but it felt like it was the moment, right, guys? It felt like it was the moment.
Yeah, I mean,
you tell go, Brian.
You want me to go? All right. Because the frustrating thing about it is, like, when you think about Sami winning the IC title, like I think I mentioned it when I made the prediction. I mean, he was in that feud with Chad Gable for what it seemed like 3 or 4 months, and it was a great story. And while they were telling that story, they were telling this story with Braun Breaker and his dominance. And I just felt like you could use the IC title with Braun Breaker to even make him even more dominant, or continue to build Braun Breaker using the IC title. Just have people step up and just have him keep plowing through everybody, and while retaining the title and eventually becoming that face of Monday Night Raw that I guess I'm thinking they're hoping he'll become.
You want to know what happened? Chad Gable should have won the title. That's what should have happened. What should have happened.
And I'm hoping that they're thinking that they're not thinking that he should win the title on a bigger stage at SummerSlam. And I'm hoping that's not the reason why they decided not to.
I think it is,
but I'm thinking that's what they did. What they did, because we saw on Raw. I mean, it's clearly not done between them. I think Braun was talking, and then he randomly speared them. Then he spared them again. So clearly, this is going towards SummerSlam again. So
I mean, Ilya Dragunov is in that mix again.
And then Dragunov is in the mix. So it's definitely going to be very, very interesting. But as far as this match goes, it was a very good match. Was a very good match. Definitely, you saw the clash in styles with the Braun Breaker being that pretty much that aggressive, like kind of like locomotive, just speed.
It was a pretty good match, and it was a pretty good match and good psychology, man.
Yep. And then Sami Zayn be kind of like more technical. So it was definitely a great clash of styles. It was definitely a very entertaining match. But I mean, I would have liked to see Braun go over right there. But seeing that they're continuing this moving forward, I definitely believe that he needs to win. The next time they face each other, like, it's mandatory. He has to win the title now at that point.
Is it?
Is it mandatory?
It is mandatory. I mean, you have him lose again. Then what? You're gonna have him just beat everybody up again? It's like, okay, he beats everybody up. But he doesn't win.
That's what he's already been doing.
No, you want to start. You want to start that with him having that Sasha Banks mystique of not being able to win when it counts.
Hey! Sasha at least won the title.
Couldn't make, but then when it kept time to keep it or retain, couldn't do it.
Hey, that was Vince's fault, all right.
50-50 booking, so the fans don't know who to cheer for.
This one was tough just because I think we saw how strong Braun was looking building up to this match, and we're like, Sammy doesn't need the title. He could lose the title. This is probably one of the only times Sammy won in Canada. But I mean,
not his hometown.
It kind of makes sense. I think for me, it was how he won. I feel like it should have been more like not just him kind of besting him. I think it should have been more of like a quick roll up or something like that. Where it was just like, hey,
very decisive.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? I thought it was gonna be more like, hey, I caught you lacking real quick, and look, I got a pin.
Yeah.
I got a submission, or I got a crucifix cradle, and blah 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 blah. Like something like that.
Crucifix cradle. Was this WrestleMania 2000? What is this?
It was. I think it makes sense because it's just like, yeah, maybe this is, his first title shot. I mean, I don't know. Either way, yes, this gives him a feud, but also if you have him win, it kind of just like elevates him because I think once you get that first, he'd be the first of the call-ups to actually get a title, with like the Ilya Dragunovs, the Tiffany Strattons, the Carmelo Hayes. Like he would be the first one of this new NXT class to win the title. But it gives him a feud and probably gives him a spot on SummerSlam. So I mean, I guess it makes sense for why they did it. But I think he should win at SummerSlam because that's a bigger stage, more exposure, more people are going to see what he's capable of, especially on a bigger stage. So I don't know. It makes sense, but he could have also just won the title.
Some people were trying to compare it to Brock Lesnar. They compared it to two Brock Lesnar moments. One, when he came back the first time and beat John Cena, and that started his whole monster Suplex City into defeating the streak. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, whoa. Brock Lesnar was already established as a champion, as a monster well before that. Even though Braun Breaker's running NXT is great, it's like, let's stop that. But then some people were comparing it to Brock Lesnar when he came back and defeated Rock. When Brock Lesnar first debuted and he went on that reign of terror, running the King of the Ring, beating up the Hardys, and then defeating The Rock at SummerSlam 2002. And I was like, okay, I can kind of understand what that is, but it's like, I don't even know if Braun Breaker is like Brock Lesnar at that point in time. Brock Lesnar was something that we've never seen at that stage in our wrestling lives. Like, we've seen big guys, we've seen guys that can move, but we didn't see anything like Brock Lesnar look as demonstrative as he did, right? So I understand it wanting to do that, and it's like it would have been a great push for him. And then there's a bunch of stuff that can be the new game plan, right? Like have baby faces try to take out Braun Breaker, have the heels be scared of Braun Breaker, and then just have him be this dominant IC champion, which would have worked perfectly. But I think that they're trying to milk this, and I feel like, again, that reign that Sami Zayn ended of Gunther 66 days or whatever it was, that they're trying to figure out ways to prolong that and keep it going because Sami Zayn is the ultimate babyface, ultimate underdog, and try to have him just battle through that, which I kind of understand. So I get it from both sides. It would have been nice to see Braun get that win early on and just be a dominant champion, but I feel like there's still more meat on the bone with this feud. And now we got Ilya Dragunov inserting himself back into that. So we'll see what happens from there, man. We'll see what happens from there. Let's get into our final match on Money in the Bank. The new Bloodline stands tall. What do you guys think about this match? What do you guys think about this match with Cody Rhodes taking the pinfall, solo pinning Cody Rhodes in the middle of the ring?
Which I predicted. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Coming out of this match, I don't want to see Cody Rhodes against Solo Sikoa for the world title at SummerSlam, presumably if that's where it's going in that. I want to see Cody Rhodes against Jacob Fatu for the title. I'm way more intrigued than Jacob Fatu than I'm being dead ass.
Whoa.
I mean,
he is not the tribal chief. Solo is the new tribal chief.
Okay. Do you acknowledge him as your tribal chief?
All right.
I don't acknowledge him as my tribal chief.
So why are you calling him the tribal chief
of this bloodline? That's all I'm saying.
Look, I get it. Story wise, obviously, Solo Sikoa is gonna get that. So story wise, but if we're just talking based upon like in-ring ability, mystique, character work, and all that stuff, Jacob Fatu was very impressive, and
I wasn't that impressed.
Hyped it up too. I mean,
I wasn't that impressed. I saw a whisper in the wind before.
I mean,
I saw a whisper in the wind before, man.
But done effortlessly like that.
Jeff Hardy has been doing it for 20 years.
And nobody else has been able to do it.
Have you seen a Samoan do that though? That's Jeff Hardy. Have you seen a Samoan do that though?
You see Roman doing that?
Exactly. I haven't seen. I don't recall the Usos doing a whole bunch of those. But yeah, it wasn't even just that move. I mean, his first time he gets into the ring, you know, Randy Orton being the veteran, tricks him into giving him the DDT. Then he stands right up after Randy Orton turns to get to his pose to do the RKO and he just looks up at him. And I think it was the first time someone just popped up from Randy Orton's DDT. And I thought that was done perfectly to show
it was early this guy in the match. Okay, he still had like a 5-6 of a health bar from that DDT. All right.
Now here you go. When using wrestling, using video game
using WWE 2K logic. He still had 5-6 of his health bar. Okay, it was early in the match.
Oh my god!
When Randy Orton plants that DDT, it's usually later in the match. Okay.
But like I said,
all know how Samoans have hard. It was early.
But regardless, Jacob Fatu did have a great performance. He did he did stand out.
Yes.
I mean, we'll agree to disagree, but he did have a standout performance. I think I had mentioned it when I made my prediction. You know, they bring in all these Samoan guys, and eventually this bloodline storyline is going to come to an end, and then everybody's going to have to kind of like disband. And the fear was like, what are you going to do with all of these guys when they go off on their own? And I had said that when you look at Jacob Fatu, he definitely looks like somebody that you're not going to be concerned with because you can still book him as a monster heel. And that's what I'm saying. I saw some of that in the Money in the Bank ladder not Money in the Bank ladder match, but in the six-man match. And that's why I'm saying, like, yo, I'm more intrigued with him than I'm in and with the actual guy who's supposed to be the tribal chief. But other than that, it was a great match. Another thing that people bring up is another botch that happened during the night. And I'm gonna just say this: don't leave Tongaloa alone because. Did you guys not see the spot he took previously? I think it was Kevin Owens.
No one posted that. They posted
I think somebody went over the top rope, knocked Tongaloa. Dude hit the back of his head on the announce table. Like he hit it so hard that the announce team even brought it up. So obviously, if you're talking like 30 seconds to a minute later, he's got to do another spot. Obviously, that's the reason why I'm not criticizing him. I understand it's simple, but at the same time, dude was wonky as shit after hitting the back of his head on the table. I think after he does the low blow and like he's waiting for Randy Orton to catch him, he's holding the back of his head. So it's like
I think the first low blow he tried to hit, they didn't catch it on camera, so he had to do it again. I think that's what it was. Because he had to do it twice, but he punched his brother in the head. Punched his brother in the head. That shit was funny. They slowed it down and showed it. It was like,
oh yeah, and one more thing. I don't know what it is about Tama Tonga, but why is it that he's always the one that's taking the majority of the offense in this new bloodline? It's like he's the whipping boy now. Like if you look back at some of these tag matches and six-man matches, he's the one that's getting fucked up the most out of everybody.
He's the smallest. He's the smallest out of all those guys. So it's got to be somebody.
He's the one, and it's funny because he's the one that started this whole thing when he first joined up with Solo Sikoa, and everybody was like, "That's Tama Tonga." Oh, he's been locked away in Japan for years. He's a monster. He's crazy. But he's getting his ass.
He's supposed to be the Swiss Army knife for them, but it's like he's the whipping boy for them. Yeah. But I thought it was a good match. I thought it was solid. Cody getting the pin though, I was surprised by that. I thought it would have been KO, but Cody getting the pin, Solo getting the pin on Cody, I was just like, wow.
I mean, I wasn't. I mean, honestly, sorry to cut you off there. I wasn't surprised by it because They had to
You
give
had the
Solo
dirt
like
sheets,
a
right? My
legitimate
bad.
win. Yeah, they had to give the new tribal chief a legitimate win.
Yeah.
So, if they don't do that and he gets this title match, everybody's looking at it like, oh, who cares? When's Roman coming back? At least now you have legitimate reason to put him in the upcoming title match.
Yeah. Yep. Much so. But yeah, I just thought it was a good match, man. I thought it was solid. KO got his offense in. I liked the psychology earlier on with Jacob Fatu and Randy Orton, showing him as a threat. Yeah, I just thought it was awesome. I thought it was a good match. But should this even main evented with the women? What they did, everyone was kind of sitting there going, "Should this have main evented?" But I mean, the significance of Cody taking that loss, I think that was the thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, when you think about it, if they had main evented with the Seth and Priest, that wouldn't have been that pretty much would have been the same ending that you had that Clash at the Castle, which was the last. Yeah. So you couldn't do that. I mean, obviously, because of the men's Money in the Bank affected that, couldn't do that. I mean, the women could have main evented, but it's Cody.
Yeah,
it's Cody. It's the new bloodline, which after SummerSlam we're gonna see what direction the storyline takes. So I in that sense, I think it made sense for it to main event.
I'm just gonna say this: Roman Reigns is on the way.
I mean,
Roman Reigns, the real tribal chief, is on the way to reclaim his throne. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
gonna do it at Bad Blood.
If SummerSlam sells out in Cleveland, it's going to be because people are hoping for a Roman Reigns appearance.
It's SummerSlam. He got to come back.
In Cleveland, though.
Back to Sika passing away and everything. Yeah. So hopefully he's in a good place when he does return. But it's like, I think he's on the way. You got Solo dissing him. You got Solo picking up wins over Cody. Hey, I'm just going to say that. Well, did Roman pin Cody? Oh, yeah, he did. But I guess Solo's on even ground now because he got a winning over Cody. So I guess that's the angle they're going to play up next.
At WrestleMania. Because of Solo. So Solo can play that card and say like, yeah, you did pin him. Yeah, because of me.
It's going to get interesting. But I think Roman Reigns is going to return at SummerSlam, but we'll see, man. Money in the Bank was pretty good. Let's get into Monday Night Raw, of course, with CM Punk facing off with Seth Rollins. Sid era there. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? CM Punk coming out to open the show, basically airing his grievances with Drew McIntyre, and then Seth Rollins basically saying, "Hey, yo, you cost me my opportunity as well." So what do you guys think about that? And this coming to the forefront because Drew McIntyre has been fined, and it looks like they're trying to figure out what to do with him. But yeah, Seth Rollins and CM Punk has been on the burner ever since CM Punk was rumored to even come back to WWE. But what do you guys think about this confrontation on Monday Night Raw?
You can go ahead, Lewis.
It was good. I think Seth's promo with him kind of quoting him at the end was really good. I think it was a great interaction. I think it adds another element. I think Punk and Drew, it's not going to be a one-off. So I think Seth also does pose a maybe screwing Punk factor to it, even though later on in the night it's revealed that Seth, the agreement he had with Damian isn't going to be in place anymore. So, if it was being held in place.
Where is Adam Pearce? Isn't he there to enforce the rules? Where is this guy? Okay,
getting bitched around by Braun Breaker.
Hey, that's a tough guy.
but it's still like I like how they interact with each other and make it very believable. Which could also be very true that they at least that Seth does not like him, want him involved, want him to participate in anything that he's going on with, and. Obviously, this was inadvertently done, but he still did, and it did cost Seth his title reign. So, for me, it was just a good balance of of the two, and also just honing it in. So great, great song for me.
I love the promo from both men. I love the fact that Seth Rollins just kind of like reinserted himself into this, because it just brings me back to that promo that the three of them did on Monday Night Raw, in which CM Punk had said, who chose you to Drew McIntyre, and how explosive that promo was. And it brings me back to that, because you put all three of them together, you're gonna get an entertaining feud. And with Punk and Seth Rollins, you could still, like, every time they're together, like you feel like the disdain for each other from both of them. Like you could tell that, like, if they weren't professionals, like, they wouldn't deal with one another. And like you get that real animosity between them. Like every time I see them now, I'm just waiting for one of them to just say something on the mic that really wasn't planned, because it's so personal. Because they have that animosity that we know about. We know how they really feel about each other, outside of WWE and interviews and such. And to add that tension now into this feud now with Drew, it's only going to make things better. And I mean, you would think if Punk is ready to go, hypothetically, you would think that, you could have Punk against Drew, and maybe Seth is a guest referee, or you could just have a triple threat, or make it a triple threat number one contenders match or something like that. So options are endless. But as far as the actual segment goes, like Lewis said, Punk Rollins kind of quoting Punk with the
consequences.
Actions have consequences.
Yeah.
So it's definitely gonna be very interesting moving forward.
All I'm thinking about is I want the Monday Night Messiah back. That's all I'm thinking throughout this whole thing. I need a Seth Rollins heel turn. CM Punk, first of all, needs somebody else to go up against as well. I know Drew McIntyre hasn't happened as yet, but Seth is the burning hot, money-making feud that even before CM Punk returned, that everyone was alluding to, hey, this is going to be happening. But then it kind of reminds me of when CM Punk was in AEW. I think we got our first AEW mention on the night with Hangman Page, where Hangman Page was like, hey, I got to be the guy in AEW to take you guys on and protect AEW from CM Punk, right? But I feel like this is kind of the same way. Seth Rollins has been kind of alluding to kind of the same thing that Drew was alluding to, saying that he's poison and you don't belong here, all that stuff from early on when Punk came back. But yeah, I'm just interested to see where this goes. I like the layer of Seth Rollins being added into it, because Seth Rollins coming back and then everybody kind of thinking that he was going to win the title, you know what I mean, and take it off Damian Priest and being the champion again. But it seems like this road is different, and I'm just thinking, hey, we're gonna get a heel Seth Rollins, because we're not gonna get a heel CM Punk right now.
No, Seth is in between. They love him, but he's doing heelish stuff.
Yeah. But I feel like Seth is the guy that needs to be to change a little bit. Ever since that babyface run, people liked it, but it was kind of growing stale at the end, and it's kind of like he needs something to evolve himself. And I feel like maybe a heel turn's on the way, but we'll see what happens with that. Let's get into the Wyatt Six. Another cryptic promo from them in Mind Control, and we had Bo Dallas in Adam Pearce's office to end that whole segment on the night. But what do you guys make of the Wyatt Six always appearing when Chad Gable? It looks like he's their target, apparently. And what do you guys make of that?
It's his new family.
Yeah. Before we get into that segment, I just want to say Jey Uso had me dying when after the match was done and the lights came down. He does the yeet and then he dips out of the ring. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
He has a habit of dipping whenever they appear. He has a habit of running away whenever they appear.
That was like the typical black person reaction to any horror shit, any horror situation. Jey Uso did. I just want to say that first. But the actual promo itself, I mean, yeah, it's another week, another great, creepy psychological promo from I'm gonna stop calling him Bo Dallas now, because now it's a
Nikki Cross.
Taylor Rotunda. It was a great promo done by him. I kind of like how when they were showing the promo, they were kind of like doing quick shots of the guys' faces, so kind of like now who everybody is. I mean, they kind of ruined it when they took that photo on social media. But now everybody knows who everyone is and who's everyone. So I kind of like that, how he ended in the office. So that's going to be very interesting. We're probably going to get Taylor Rotunda against Chad Gable at SummerSlam. I mean, it has to pay off at some point. I mean, because what is this? This is the third week in a row that Nikki Cross has given a VHS tape to the announcer's table. I mean,
wouldn't she give that to the production crew?
Maybe she couldn't make it out there.
They can't make it to the back.
Yeah, so
she couldn't make it to the crowd where we were sitting at Monday Night Raw. She couldn't make it there.
Yeah,
should have creeped you out, Dan.
Yeah, creeped all of us out. Lose, your girl would have been Nook.
You would have been fine.
Yeah, but it was another great promo. No, definitely.
Again, I'm just waiting to see where this goes. I feel like it's more of the same thing where it's building, because we get the cryptic promos and it's like he's kind of saying the same thing, like we were forgotten, and we're family and all this stuff. And it's just like, I'm just waiting to see the payoff, because that's what we're all looking for. It's like we're getting these moments and stuff like that. Obviously, they're building towards it looks like attacking Chad Gable at some point, which is going to be interesting. And then we got the whole thing with Bo Dallas in the office at the end there to end that segment. I'm just waiting to see where it goes, man. I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm hoping that it does all right. Just trying to figure out where this is going. That's all we're trying to figure out. That's all we're trying to figure out. Yeah. Chad Gable's in trouble, man. Get some help. It looks like he's going to try to get the Creed brothers, but get some help.
Creed brothers.
But let's get into our last segment on the night. Let's get into Mami Returns. Rhea Ripley is back. After a highly contested bout between Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, with a little help from Liv Morgan, and Dom finally beats his dad. I feel like that should be the takeaway, but it's not. We get the returning of Rhea Ripley. What do you guys think about that? With Liv Morgan kind of pulling Dominic Mysterio on top of her, and them about to embrace, and Rhea Ripley storms to the ring.
As an individual who on Twitter had said that he more than likely thought this wasn't going to happen, I was generally surprised. Now I literally thought they were going to save this return for maybe another PLE, maybe SummerSlam. I didn't think they were going to do it so soon, and it wasn't so much because of the story, because like I've said, the women's the women's heavyweight championship has pretty much been on pause since Liv Morgan has won it. I mean, she had that one title match with
she's been busy
with Zelina Vega that we saw at the Garden, but other than that, it's pretty much been on hold while she's been pretty much courting Dom and trying to break up the Judgment Day. So I initially thought that, but because of that they were pretty much going to hold off Rhea Ripley, but I guess they probably thought, it's on titles on pause. And she's ready to go. Let's bring her back. And that's another thing. When she got the shoulder injury, I mean, we didn't know the details, but they had alluded to. I think the dirt sheets had said that it was going to be like maybe 6 months, 6 to 9 months, or whatever. I think they had like a significant time period. So even though the dirt sheets say nonsense sometimes, and we believe it or not believe it, still there was a chance that she was going to be out for a long time. So I thought, maybe they're not going to bring her back now because she's still hurt. But she came back. It definitely was an impact. I mean, it almost didn't happen because what she came out of 10:58, 10:59, and they went off air so suddenly. It almost was like there was supposed to be more between her and Dom. But
she had the John Cena recovery, Brian. That's what it was.
Yeah,
back in no time.
The boys
I still can't believe he did that shit. How you come back from a pectoral muscle in 3 months? 2 or 3 months.
Because he's John Cena. That's why. But yeah, Mami coming back was. I caught it online, but I was still like fairly shocked that like, wow, they already brought her back. Hopefully she comes to Pro tomorrow on Monday, kind of just addressing all of it, or just slapping crap out of Dom as a result. That'd be pretty cool.
Dom is having a tough week. We haven't seen anything from Dom, but it looks like Liv Morgan's gotten what she's wanted, right? She's gotten under Rhea Ripley's skin. She's gotten in the Judgment Day. She's talked to everybody. She's been flirting with Dom. We don't know how far they have been or went. But yeah, I think this is perfect. Liv Morgan playing the girl next door, running away and causing all this havoc. And now Rhea's home. Rhea's back. So, and they did show Damian Priest on, I believe it was on social media. He was saying consequences when Rhea Ripley was out there with Dominic Mysterio. And Damian has been the guy warning Dominic Mysterio to handle this and get rid of this and get away from her and get away from the Judgment Day. And chickens have come home to roost, and it looks like he's going to be in trouble. Definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm interested to see what happens. Of course, I said Rhea Ripley was going to return at the Garden. Did not happen, but she returns a week later after Money in the Bank. So I guess Mami's back. We're going to see what is it that the women's division is going to pick back up, especially with Rhea Ripley back, and we're going to see what happens with that. Obviously, going to lead to a match at SummerSlam. Hopefully, we'll see if they make it a ladder match for the custody of Dominic Mysterio. We'll see what happens with that. But as always, thank you guys for joining me. Another good show in the books. Take that off. And another good show in the books. Everything going on. We're going to continue to see what the road up to now SummerSlam is. AEW is also picking up. We got a bunch of stuff happening on that side. A new signing. Brian, if you can, I can't remember. Stephanie
Vacker,
who was on Forbidden Door against Mercedes Moné in WWE's new latest signee. Definitely got to catch up on NXT Heatwave. I heard that was awesome.
NXT in general right now has been like hitting on all cylinders. Like
I'm still trying to watch it.
It's definitely NXT is like worth watching. On
I've heard.
The same way. Well, Monday Night Raw and SmackDown are like kind of like mandatories. Like NXT is becoming that now, especially Stephanie Vacker signing. Julia just recovering from her wrist injury, so she's going to be recovered. She's recovered now. So NXT is like stacked right now as far as talent that they signed, talent that that's still like upcoming.
We saw the
athletes that they're still training. Like NXT.
We saw the clips from Kalani Jordan and was it Sol Ruka?
Yeah, that was a great match.
No, I gotta watch it. So I'm probably gonna try to watch it.
Yeah, very good.
So I'm gonna try to get in there and see what happens.
Fuck you, Dave Meltzer. no, because he's a hypocrite for his critique of that.
Yeah. He is. He's definitely a hypocrite.
Gonna say, that's gymnastics, but yet when Ospreay and Ricochet or Ospreay or whoever have the same kind of match you over here talking about, it's a 6-star, it's a 7-star. but when they do it, it's just doing gymnastics.
Average
bullshit.
Nature of the beast.
Exactly. That's bullshit.
Nature of the beast with Dave Meltzer, man. But we're going to continue to see what happens next week in this world of wrestling. And thank you guys for joining us. And as always kick out on two. Always kick out on two. But until next time, we'll see you guys.
On Twitter.
Yes. Follow us on Twitter. It's at the bottom. It's been scrolling the whole show. Please follow us on Twitter. But until next time.
1, 2